still be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready.
Hey cuties, and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna do a Barbie lookbook, and as always you can find links to all of the CC that I'm using in the description down below. Also, all of the models that we're using for today's lookbook are Sims that I've created in previous Create a Sim videos. I'll make sure to link to each of those Create a Sim videos whenever we move into that Sims look, so you can go check out all of the CC that I've used on this Sim, like skin details, presets, eyebrows, stuff like that, over in that video if you wish to. But without further ado, let's get straight into this. I was definitely like highly inspired by the new Barbie movie, of course. I definitely want to watch it. I'm not a huge Barbie girly. I don't know. I did play with Barbies when I was younger, even though they were just ones that were handed down to me. It was never like a big thing for me where I knew the new Barbies that came out or was really super interested in it. So, you know, I played with them whenever, but it wasn't really my thing. Like, I wasn't very invested in it. So I think that's why the lookbook was also a bit harder for me. I definitely wanted to go with like the pink theme, even though I do know that she also has like different looks in the movie as well. I think she has like a few blue looks, if I remember correctly. I looked some up, but you know, I wanted to keep with the very typical Barbie pink, and I think there's like a pink that is very iconic for it, like a shade of pink where I'm like, oh, that's such a Barbie pink. So I tried to like nail it with that. It was sometimes difficult because obviously I was like restricted by The Sims 4 not having a color wheel, but I tried my best. I think the looks are all very different. Like the first one is definitely more like yeehaw cowgirl kind of look. It's really cute. Thought it was very fitting because of the new pack. It was just a vibe, you know, I loved it. Wish I had a pink cowboy hat that I liked though, because the one that came with the pack, I think I ended up using like a white one from the base game. The one that came with the pack, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't know why. I think the shape is weird. I don't like that it's like rounder on top. I prefer this base game one. Sadly, it didn't come in pink otherwise. Definitely would have gone for the pink one. I might have, you know, to look into some custom content for that, because cowboy hats in pink are now what I need in my game apparently. And I wish I had. I mean, I have all of the CC, but no pink cowboy hat. We're missing. Missing out on that. And then the second look is a little bit more spicy, kind of more 90s inspired, I would say. It's super cute, we love it, but definitely a little bit more spice to that one. And then the third one is kind of more, I would say 70s, because I gave her a really cute romper and then some really cool boots, so it's a bit more modernized 70s, but still that kind of vibe. Because whenever I see Barbie looks, I feel like they're either like 70s or 90s inspired. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, or 80s. A lot of things are also 80s. Super cute though. I'm very happy with all of the looks. I don't know which one my favorite is. It might actually be the first one, just because I'm like so into the whole cowgirl look right now with the new pack coming out. But I don't know, you'll have to let me know what your favorite look is. And yeah, that's all I have to say about these looks. It is currently such weird weather here, and I've been talking about this, like I have been so tired, but everyone I talk to lately says the same thing. So it must just be the weather, honestly, because I remember talking to my neighbor. She lives above me and she has a dog, and I always hear her like walking up and down with the dog, and sometimes I meet her and she's like a chatterbox, which is fine because she's very nice, but she always chats me up when we see each other. And then she was telling me how she's super tired and like she just sleeps and then wakes up to walk her dog and then goes back to sleep. And I was like, girl, I feel that, because me too. I mean, I'm not sleeping that much because I'm really bad with naps. My theory on that is actually because from a very young age I wasn't taking naps anymore. Like I remember my mom told me when I went to kindergarten, which I think I was like around 2 years old, I wasn't taking naps anymore because I would just stay up for super long if I did. My mom said the first day I went to kindergarten and they put me down for a nap, I wouldn't go to sleep until like midnight that day, and I was 2 years old, so great. Must be annoying as a parent if your toddler doesn't nap anymore, because that seems to be like the only time where you get some downtime to do things for yourself or for your household or whatever needs to be done. Can be done in that time. Apparently not with me. I was, you know, up and running all day apparently. I wish I was still like that, to be honest. I don't know where that energy went. Used it all up when I was younger. But I'm bad with naps. That's where we were coming from, I think. Because I think it's from that, I'm not used to it. And whenever I do take a nap, I feel so bad afterwards, like really nauseous, not just a bit like disheveled and stuff, which would make sense. Also nauseous, and it doesn't matter if I take a nap for 10 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 hours. It's definitely better if it's like very short. If it's just like a minute or two, kind of like, fall asleep accidentally, definitely a little bit better, but I always feel nauseous after. And it's horrible because usually I fall asleep right before I'm supposed to make dinner, and then I feel really nauseous and I don't want to eat, but I know I have to eat. And people have been telling me to like drink stuff and eat fruit and stuff because that would help with it, but it doesn't. I'm just horrible at taking naps. I literally a noob at taking naps. I can't do it. And I know there's so many people who are like great at taking naps, and I wish I was one of those people, because caffeine also doesn't have an effect on me. So if I'm tired, I just have to stick through it. I just have to stick through it and hope that I can actually sleep during the night, because I'm also notoriously bad at going to sleep. It's like I sometimes start building up this like anxiety about going to sleep, because I think it's related to my ADHD, because like almost everyone with ADHD has sleeping issues, and mine aren't sleeping through the night. I have a friend and he's like terrible. He like sleeps 2 hours and then wakes up and sleeps 2 hours. Like, not that type of person. When I sleep, but falling asleep is so hard because I have the worst racing thoughts ever. Like, I never go to sleep without an audiobook on or a podcast or something to keep my mind off of like racing, because otherwise I'm just not going to sleep. It's better if I sleep with someone. Like if I sleep with my boyfriend, it's usually a bit better, even though like on certain nights I still have to turn on a podcast. It's just racing thoughts. I can't help it. I think it's just part of the ADHD where like my brain just does not shut off. And then there's phases in my life where I start like just developing anxiety about going to sleep, because one, I'm like, oh my god, my thoughts are just gonna keep racing when I'm in bed. I'm not gonna be able to sleep, and it's like the worst if you go to sleep and you can't sleep. And then I also have like neck issues where my neck starts hurting every now and then. It's become a little bit better lately, to be honest, but it was very bad at times, and it gets especially bad if I'm laying awake in bed, because I think I just tense up like worrying about going to sleep, and then I just hurt my neck, and it's very bad. So I just build up this anxiety about it, and then I don't want to go to sleep. Like I just stay up longer on my PC doing stuff like playing something or reading or watching something, and then I don't go to sleep, and obviously I'm more tired in the morning if I'm trying to get myself up around 8 a.m. So it's a big deal. But lately I have been okay about going to sleep. I've been asleep before 1 a.m. most nights, which is good for me. And I'm still exhausted. Like I sleep 8 hours, still exhausted. But I also talked to my sister, and I feel like everyone's just tired. It must be the weather, because it's literally sunny one moment and then pouring it down the next. It's the craziest thing ever. I've just talked to my roommate as well, because he just came back from a vacation where they went to cycle and then canoe. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Canoeing? Yeah, I think so. Around Germany. And it was just pouring rain. Like, bless his little soul. He just got soaking wet. And I feel for him, because that must be so annoying if you're like out the whole time. And I think they also, I think they just were camping. So they're in a tent, not in a camping van. So they didn't really have a chance to like dry anything off. They were just always wet, and that just seems like a little bit of a nightmare, even though he's like a lot more positive than me. So he came back and he was like, yeah, it was really nice, even though we got soaked. I would be so miserable. I mean, I think to the canoe, he said they like rode for 80 kilometers or something by bike to even get there, and I was like, oh my god, I would be the whiniest little baby if you take me on an 80-kilometer bike ride. And I don't think either of them has a very good bike. Like, he just has a city bike, so that's wild. But whatever. The video's coming to an end here real soon. Please let me know what your favorite look was, and if you have any ideas for future lookbooks. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you all next time. Bye!